Hello, fabulous people. This is the Together podcast, and this is the place where Cherise and I come together to help you get it together for your everyday business life. So we hope you enjoy.
Recording. And today is my birthday.
How did that escape me?
Thank you so much. I don't think you knew. Like, this is the first time, when I was coming into the shop, I'm coming in every 6 weeks, maybe 3 months, who knows?
Yeah.
So today is my birthday, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. So, I think we're streaming on Instagram, so I think I need to do the camera like this so we're both seen. But I feel good. I was in the gym this morning. I was so proud of myself. I think it's the first day that I've been in the gym on my birthday.
Yeah,
so I was so excited about that. I made it through all of my affirmations and meditations and prayers. So I was really feeling good. And then I was able to send out some gratitude text. And so on my birthday, I really like to take a moment. And so I'll take this moment and say, thank you so much, Cherise, for being in my life. And you add to my life and you add to my journey. And just thank you so much for being willing to do this thing with me.
My pleasure, and thank you. Right back at you. Gosh, it's your birthday, girl.
It's my birthday.
So you remind me of my sister. And my sister's birthday, my brother's birthday is the 1st, February 1st. My sister's is the 8th.
Oh, let's tell your sister I said happy birthday.
I will.
All right. So, how are you before we jump into what I want to talk about today?
Doing amazing. I'm amazing. Great. I slept in today. I was amazing today. Well, no, wait. I did not.
Okay. All right.
I had a call at 6 a.m. I forgot. So what I didn't do is I didn't do my workout or my morning routine. That's what I didn't do. I didn't do my morning thing. So I'm gonna be a little late, but I still feel good because it was such a great session. It was like it was 2.5 hour, almost 3 hour session. So.
Wow. Oh my gosh, I went deep.
Yeah, we did. We only meet once a month.
Okay.
So it's an accountability group. So
those are good. Those are good. All right. So what I want to talk about today is, I think, in alignment with where I've been lately and with where I am today on my birthday, which is really making sure that you're looking at yourself and you're asking yourself the tough questions. And so, first of all, I think if there's a title for today, the title is, Are You the Bottleneck? Are you the bottleneck? So I listened to a sermon this morning. So, sermons usually start off with a title. And so there we go. The title for this topic today is, Are You the Bottleneck? And really looking at what's happening, what's going on in your business, in your life, and saying, okay, am I the bottleneck? It is taking 100% accountability for who you are and where you are. It's not blaming anybody else. It's saying, okay, this is my life. I have created it. If I want something different, what do I need to do and or be to have a different life? And I think when you sit down and you say, okay, this is my life, I have created it. Man, you got to sit with that. And so however it is, and I know, like, we will want to blame statistics, luck, talent, timing. Well, everybody else has those and I don't. It never happened for me. The odds are working against me.
Yeah.
You sure? Let's sure. And even if the odds are working against you, why haven't you overcome that? And so really, I want to encourage you guys to really sit down and say, okay, I'm the bottleneck. I am the bottleneck. I have caused this and created this. Now let me figure out how to fix it. Because if you can say, I'm the bottleneck, I'm the problem, I'm the issue, now you got all the power in the world to create something different for yourself.
Yeah.
Create something different for your business. And so if you sit down and you look at every area of your business and you say, okay, how am I the bottleneck in this area? Well, I'm the only one seeing clients at this price level. Okay, why? What do we need to do to get 2 more people seeing these clients at this price level? Where am I in the billing? Well, I'm the only one who can do the billing. Yeah, you ain't even that good at it. Right. So the bills aren't going out on time and the invoices aren't being on time because you're not sending the bills out on time. You're the bottleneck. Okay, let's figure out how to correct that. Well, my marketing isn't on point. Okay, why is it not on point? Because you didn't spend any time doing it last month. Okay, so do we need to get somebody else in here to do that? Do we need to figure out how we need to do that? But let's see, what's another area of business? Sales. Okay, my sales aren't up. My sales funnel isn't up and working. Okay, why? And so if you can, okay, so let's be real. I can go to Panera. And today I'm trying to get to O'Charlie's. I can go to Panera and O'Charlie's. Let's say I go to Panera for lunch and I go to O'Charlie's for dinner. That feels fully within my budget, right? All in all, it's my birthday. So I'm probably going to have a drink. And so O'Charlie's bill is definitely probably going to be $30, maybe $40. And my Panera bill usually is like somewhere between $13 and $20, depending on if I get my charger or not. All right. So that's $50 I'm going to spend the day on food. But I can't find $50 to hire somebody to do this marketing funnel for me real quick, to hook up Kartra, to do all of that. Okay. So when you start looking at yourself like that with a critical eye of why you can do this, but you can't do that. Why can you afford this, but you can't do that? I am the master of spending $5 at a time. I am. And I have to arrest myself because I'll spend $5 all day long, but I don't have $100 to put on this plan, program, hiring somebody, marketing effort, new brochures. Oh, I ain't got it. I'm broke. But $5 here, $5 there. Oh yeah, let me get the extra packer and let me get that. Oh, let me run over here and get this. And so really holding yourself accountable is what I want to talk to people about today. Like really looking at yourself and saying, if my business is not where it's supposed to be, why? If my business is where I think it can be, why? And in doing that in transparency, I was looking at my business model. And so I'm the biggest producer in my business. Okay. 1 out of 7. So why is that? Why is that? And it's because I set the business up wrong from the beginning. I set the business up not to be a business, but for me to do therapy. And so now that I'm looking at it, okay, had I set it up as a business to have other people do therapy, then it wouldn't have been about me getting trained. It would have been about them getting trained. Then it would not have been about me getting clients. It would have been like them getting clients. And so now to relook at that thing and essentially now I got to reverse engineer it and recreate it and start all over again from like that group model mindset it's a lot. But I think if I keep looking at these areas in my life and keep saying, okay, you're the bottleneck, you're the problem, how do you fix the problem? It's giving me like an amount of clarity that I don't think I've had before. Because when you're in it, it's just like, oh, I don't understand why this isn't working. And oh my God. When you take a step back and say, okay, I'm the reason it's not working. Now let's figure out why it's not working. Why? And it could be as simple as because you don't have good routines and systems in place. It could be as simple as you didn't know that it could work differently or better. It could be as simple as you hadn't figured out how to do that yet. And so it's doing all of these things to make sure that your business is moving and operating the way you want it to be. And I think when you get that fundamental understanding that I am the bottleneck, I am creating whatever we got in some type of way, then it really gets clear as to what you can do.
I agree 100%.
All right, jump in while I drink some water.
I feel like, I remember I thought that I was going to become a millionaire, doing hair, behind the chair. And not to say that you cannot, and not that you can't make a whole lot of money, because our industry does make a lot of really great money. But I thought I was going to do it standing behind the chair doing heads. right? And that was a limited belief, a limited mindset.
Yes.
And one reason was because when I started out, we were making a lot of money. And especially in that time in the economy, we were able to ball out. Making that money in the economy that we were in right now. Just cash was cash. Cash was king at that time. So I remember when I moved to Atlanta and just kind of started shifting. I was able to go up on my prices and things like that. And I just really thought it was on, open up the salon and everything and started taking on all that overhead and that responsibility. I'm like, oh, whoa. Like, this definitely isn't it. And then I remember I was like, wow, am I an entrepreneur or am I a high level, underpaid, overwhelmed, frustrated employee in my business?
Oh, right? No, it's a thing. That's a thing.
Yeah. So, but I will say it looked and felt good. The hard work was validating at that time. Because we have been programmed that hard work is the key. Oh, you work hard. You're a good woman. You work hard. You're smart. You own your own business. Right. Yeah. I pay all this overhead. Instantly, when you own your own business, people think, oh, you make all this money. No, I just took on all this overhead is what I did. And it looks good and it sounds good. Right? So,
right.
So yeah, I had to, and I remember shifting and realizing like I'm the problem in my business because I'm not growing like I should. I remember purposely shifting, having to shift and realizing like, oh, okay. So this whole business model is, although it's glamorous and it looks good, it's still a setup, like you're saying, I set myself up, you set yourself up to be a therapist in your business, same thing here. I set myself up to be a hairstylist in the business. Then, I thought I was doing something. I'm an image consultant. I do photo shoots and I do events and things like that. And I did make a lot more money, but that's not what you call scaling. That's not what you
that again.
That's not what you call really, truly smart business because I was up all day and night, and it didn't make sense anymore. No. At that time, young, fun, we're having a good time, meeting a lot of people, serving a lot lot of people, but that's for a certain amount of time. Life shifts and you have to shift. Now at 50, so many of my beauty professional friends are burnt out, wore out, bodies broke down, minds fried, right? Because most of us don't even really realize that we really are therapists and really are people's, people come to us and just dump everything on us. And you're not doing the inner work to release, So it's a lot. It's a lot. And that's a question I have for you, just a tidbit off subject. What is your inner work to release everything, all the energy and the information that you take in from your clients?
So first of all, it takes practice. It takes practice to learn how to release. For me specifically, I had to, I won't say really study, but really meditate on the story of the Good Samaritan in the Bible. And so in the story of the Good Samaritan, he comes across this person who is beat up, who is sick on the side of the road. He helps him. Then he takes him to a local hotel and drops him off and keeps it moving. Now he drops him off with instruction, but he keeps it moving. And so that for me became my like, okay, help them while you can help them. Do what you can do for them. You drop them off in the better hands and you keep it moving.
Yeah.
And so I had to sit with that. And I still struggle with it sometimes, especially my couples, like Black love. I'm all about it. And so like I try my best, and I tell myself, it's like, do not take your couples to bed with you. Do not take your couples to bed with you. It's like I do not want to be in my bed at night thinking about, okay, how do I get
them,
them to do this? How do I get them to shift this way? Okay, how do I move? Because that's what it feels like. I'm trying to like do a paradigm shift so they either see their partner different or they say something different, or like how do I, what do I need to say to exactly have them do? And so so my couples that weigh on my heart or like maybe come to me on the brink of divorce or something like that. Usually I'm really working like, how do I save this? And so I still am practicing on that a lot. For the most part, I'm gonna say 80% of my clients, deuces, good. I understand. I'm there to help you for a season.
Yeah.
And then like the Good Samaritan, I will keep it moving. I don't need to be worried about it. I'm gonna hand you off to and also I think energetically I hand them off to God.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, God, you got them. Like I'm supposed to be in their life for that reason, for that season. Okay, you got it. You know, you were the orchestrated, a great master and everything. I think in when it is a particularly hard couple or case that it's been a couple of days in a row that I've taken these people to bed with me. Then I reach out to a colleague and say, okay, help me think about this differently. And do that. So those are the layers, but it takes practice over time. Like when I first started, this was not the case.
No, I totally understand. That's how I ended up writing my book, the Feeling Good formula, because it was like I had to figure out a way to, release and, and replenish day to day, though. Each and every day, because you had to go to work and show up for these people full and ready every day for whatever concern there was, and concerns from, image, confidence, beauty. I'm responsible for this because you're so broken or so insecure. I have a very important role in your life. You know what I mean? And then, me, I'm just, now that I realized it was a higher calling, I'm like, oh, okay. Not really realizing that early on, what I was, being, I'm not a super heavy empath, but I do have that tendency. But that's why I had to learn how to release, because I couldn't be taking people and their hair and their family issues and their concerns with everything else in life home with me every day. Multiple people home with me every single day on top of my own Like, that's what I want. That's why I'm such an advocate in doing my work to position myself for my beauty pros and just women entrepreneurs, period. You have got to understand the inner work that it takes to protect yourself in business or life, period. And so many people are not doing that. They take for granted the meditations and the deep breathing. It's not just cute. It's real. Those are your life sources.
Okay. I am, if my friend is listening, I am fussing at you right now. If she's out there, because we just got finished saying or having a conversation about she doesn't know how to rest. So what keeps happening is she works, she burns herself out, and then she crashes for a couple of days, like on the couch crying. I can't get my life together. Why do I feel like this? I can't get up and move. Because you're not resting. And so I said this to her, we have got to get to a fundamental understanding. I need you to go have a conversation with Jesus on this one of what it's going to take for you to understand that rest is as big a part of work as especially for you, because we can see when you burn out like clockwork. Like clockwork. And I mean, I get it. It's I want to do this. I want to do this. I get to get money for this. I get the money for this. I get the money for this. But you crashing and burning. And then, even though you set yourself up to make, I'm just going to say some numbers. You set yourself up to make $100,000 in the next 2 weeks, but you can't show up. So you only got 50.
Exactly.
So like, how about, right. Yeah.
It's an ongoing process. So, and here's the thing. That's that self-awareness. That's why I'm so heavy on accountability, discipline, and self-awareness. And people take self-awareness for granted.
Right.
Self-awareness is understanding like, okay, even for your collective, for your friend, for your client, self-awareness is, hey, sis, you passing out every time you go on the stage for 30 minutes, or, you know, you working for 2 weeks or 4 weeks straight, whatever. And it's taking you out. And it happens every time, but we're not realizing what's happening because we just keep going and going and going. You know, so but that's self-awareness.
It is. And and the thing about self-awareness is, and I feel like I've been on this for last month, y'all gotta take a step back and look at what's going on. What's my pattern? When do I break down? Why am I breaking down? What do I need to put in place so I don't break down? And so I really would like y'all to see it as like filling up your gas tank on the weekend. So that in the midweek, when you running late for the meeting that morning and it's raining outside and 30 degrees, that's not when you have to fill up your tank full of gas because you ran out, because you're not going to make it. And so if we can get it to, okay, this is what I do. And it's going to be different for everybody. But I need you to really sit down, people, everybody, within the sound of my voice. I need you to really sit down and say, what fills my tank? And how often do I need to do that so I consistently run on a full tank? And so it's more like every time I do the thing that refills me and regenerates me, rejuvenates me, I'm topping off. I'm not feeling an empty well. I'm topping off. I'm topping off. I'm topping off. I'm topping off. And so, and then I think, because it feels like, but why do I need to do this? I'm not broke down right now, but you don't know what's going to happen in the next week. You don't know what's going to happen in your life. Like I remember me and my brother, we met at a gas station one time to exchange something. And I was like, well, go ahead and get you some gas. And he was like, I don't need gas, but you don't know what you're going to need. So we at the gas station. There's no reason for you not to get gas. Let's go on and fill it up. You don't know. It's going to save you some time in the future. Ain't no sense in being at a gas station and not getting the gas. It was a conversation, and I think we laughed. But that's what I would like people to realize. You don't know what your business is going to throw at you next week. You don't know what your business is going to throw at you next month. So let's keep full as opposed to running ourselves out down to nothing and then having to rejuvenate, because it's going to be so much easier to consistently top yourself off, keep yourself high, then you got to rebuild yourself from being completely drained. Like when you are trying to quench a thirst, when you are trying to feel a bottomless pit, which is what it can feel like that sometimes, that is so hard to do. Like you're gonna need 20 sermons as opposed to one 5-minute YouTube video to keep yourself operating at that level. And I think that's a huge important part of it. I read the book, the 5 a.m. Club. And in the book, one of the things he said is, operating at that level, being a member of the 5 a.m. club, is they get 2 massages a week. And I think it was 2 90-minute massages. And I was like, who got time for that? Like, how do you have time for that?
High level people who understand their worth, who realize what they have to do to put into themselves, to put back into themselves. Like you have to. It's a must.
It's
a must. And we are still playing low level here. You know, like a massage is not luxury. It's not luxury anymore. Like it's a necessity now. Like you have to have it. You know, downtime is everything. And we're taking it for granted. This world that we're in now is constantly taken away from you. Every time you look at your phone. So we're not even talking about clients. Let's talk about the phone. The minute you wake up, you know, life is pulling on you. That's why that whole regimen of you have to go to sleep intentional. So wake up intentional so that you can be intentional throughout your entire day. And that's what's happening. Like you're letting life you instead of you life and life. Like it's controlling you. You know, you wake up and the day start pulling on you and controlling on you instead of you waking up. Even in enough time, if you need to set that alarm for 15 minutes before, to get your 15 minutes of deep breathing and just sitting there instead of jumping up, running up. We have also, a lot of people still have so many of their young habits.
Yeah.
Right? Habits of 20, 30 years that you're still operating in. I'm guilty, very guilty. But it's just now that life is catching up, I'm realizing like, no, the rest is as valuable as the work. Like, and I think so many people feel guilty resting.
They do feel guilty resting because that's what my friend was saying. I feel guilty. Okay, but you're not functioning.
Yeah.
And you're going to break down and you're going to lose money.
Yeah.
So can we just go on the fact that you're going to lose money?
You're going to lose money.
You're going to lose money.
And disappoint people that have your money.
Say that part. Oh, God. Say that part.
You know what I mean? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Like, I'm super big on
it's a better way to do it. It's just, it's a better way to do it.
You know what else I believe? I believe every person, I got to go over here and jump on Facebook. We got some comments too. So I believe that every human being has a healing aspect in them.
Oh.
I believe that each and every person needs to dig deeper and figure out what that is so that you can constantly be healing yourself, right?
Yeah.
So if you're healing yourself, I believe if your work is a healing work and you're constantly healing yourself, you're healing your people.
Yeah.
Like your work is healing, you healing people. So, it's a play back and forth. So you got to do the extra though. You have to do the extra that it takes to figure out, okay, so what is my healing? I was with my girlfriend, Tiana. It was her birthday this weekend too.
Tiana, girl, happy birthday.
She's on Facebook too. So many of my loves are in February. So this weekend, we discovered a huge gift that she has, that she has not been operating in, that's about to change her life and so many people around her. I'm so glad that she was the one that was aligned to go to the conference with me this weekend. It wasn't a conference, it was a convergence. We're going to have to talk about that next week too.
Okay.
And she was just absolutely the one that was aligned to be with me this weekend and to be in contact with those particular people and to discover and bring out this gift that she has in a different way. And I'm super excited about that because I feel like that's our work. I feel like you and I discover, every week we discover something else about ourselves, another way we can help our tribe, help each other. Just always discovering something new. But that healing, like Natalie, how do you heal people?
Oh, child. I think it's different for each person. And so I think the biggest thing is being there present and attuning to what they need.
No, I mean specifically you.
How do I heal people?
You heal people.
It's going to be with words. It's going to be with words. And that is my prayer. There's several scriptures in the Bible that talk about the power of a good word, a right word, a timely word, a healing word. And so it's with presence and words.
I love it. Yeah. I love that. But did you all hear the clarity in that?
Yeah.
The clarity in that is everything, because at this point in life and business, you have to be clear.
Yeah.
It's time to be clear, and it's constant work. So the best thing you can do is be clear so you can just keep getting more and more and more clarity. Right. And I love that you knew that it didn't take time for you to say that you know it already. And it's what you do. And that's how you heal yourself.
Yeah.
And that's how you heal your people.
Yeah.
And knowing that is everything, y'all. Like, if you aren't clear, you need to stay tuned in, tapped into this conversation weekly and tuned in and tapped in with us. Like, and Natalie is two things, not just, but it's two important things. If you have not been tapped into this podcast, Natalie is a sex therapist, right? Amazing sex therapist. And she is the best supervisor you could know.
Thank you.
Okay. Those are things that I learned more about her with the supervising part, the more we talk on this podcast.
Yeah.
I know about the sex therapy, because she's really my sex therapist and don't know it. We've been talking about this game for a long time. She's just so good. She's so good, y'all. She's so good. I don't know if she has any more appointments. I don't know. So I don't have anything to do with it.
Thank you so much.
But her words are healing. Like the conversations we would have when she was in my chair, she just said things in a way I would never have ever thought of it. Even your backstory on how you got into the sex therapy.
Yeah.
So deep, so good. And maybe we can get into that another day or whatever.
Yeah, we should do our histories on here. We should, so everybody can know, like really know us.
Sure.
And I think the biggest thing when I want you to know me, I want you to know I'm no better than you. That just happened to be my path. And I'm excited to hear your path.
Yeah. So we'll do it. Maybe our next episode.
Okay, we can do that.
Let's do it.
We can do that. Okay. So what else? What do we want people to know on this episode?
Let's go through the comments over here on Facebook. Yeah, the comments. Yeah, Tiana said, I love the way it rolled right off her tongue. Yes, I get that feeling guilt on the resting. Yes, we do. I'm growing into that a better way. Yes, Kimmy. Young habits, so true.
Yep.
Going to sleep intentional.
Yeah.
That is so important to me. I'm going to dig deeper into that with the tribe this year because I don't play with my sleep. People would always be like, where you get all the energy from? And you're always up so early. I sleep. If the sleep come down on me in your face, you know that's the MO. They talk about me so bad because I'm like a narcoleptic. I will pass out in your face. That's the running joke with my friends. They're like, oh, she need a nap. Let her go take a nap, and then she'll be on here or whatever. So, but I don't play with my sleep.
I think I love my sleep, but what happens is I work, and sometimes if I'm not careful, I can work late. And then I try to get up early, and then that's what happens right there. Then so it was interesting. One day this weekend, it was a moment I was like, oh my God, I am well rested. This is so nice.
Yeah, it feels
so good. Like I'm here, I'm chilling, I'm sitting here, I'm not sleepy. And so I really got to work on going to bed intentionally, because what's happening is, okay, I'm tired. Let me roll into bed. And so when I can say, okay, it's my bedtime, let me get ready for bed, and then let me get into the bed, it does have my next morning flow better. I set myself up well.
Yeah, it's everything. I'm super high energy anyway. My whole soul is high energy. So for me to get worn out, like I was worn out this weekend coming off the Convergence home.
Yeah.
And yesterday it was a wrap for me. But I feel good today. I was ready for that 6 a.m. call this morning. That's because when I knocked myself out with my meditations and all that stuff, and I was out, so I'm rested. But when I'm tired, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think let's talk about that a little bit, of knowing kind of adult things to do versus like young 20-30 thing to do, is when you come off of an event, when you come back from a conference, even when you come back from vacation, giving yourself a day of two to rest and not just trying to jump right back in. And I think with vacations, well, I've been on vacations for 2 weeks, so I should be able to go right back into work. It don't work like that. It really doesn't. And even if you've been on vacation for 2 weeks, when you come back home, you just got finished traveling.
Yeah.
So get somewhere and set out, right? And so make sure around everything you're putting these buffers. A do nothing day. What you do on a day? Nothing. What you want to do today? Nothing. What you trying to do today? Nothing.
Nothing.
Like nothing. And really have that. And I think if it's only 7 days of the week, y'all. And if you are trying to work 5 or 6 of them, go to church on one of them, run errands, go to the grocery store, get your clothes out to clean up on another one of them. You are out of days. You just out of days. What?
Natalie. Now people gonna judge me for this. But I remember I was working so hard. I was like, something's gonna have to come off the plate. I remember I was kind of having my little churchy things going on. And I'm like, Lord, me and you gonna have to figure this out because I'm at work 6 days a week. Then I go to church early. And I was like, it's you and me on Sunday, Lord. I'm not going to, I don't want to see them people no more. I don't want to go, and I don't want no church accountability in the house no more. And you know,
I get it. I get it.
God, so good, and I needed it, and it was such a relief for me. But because I've been in the church for all my life.
Yeah.
And I was tired of going every single Sunday and Wednesday and whatever else activity that was going on. And you know, me and God made good with each other. And we've been good ever since. Direct.
Girl, I ain't mad at you.
I can appreciate that.
We were good outside of church. And I just got back into church like January 2024. First Sunday.
Good for you.
Because it was like that. Because if you're working 6 days a week, some of y'all are working 7 days a week, trying to fit in church, grocery store, your mama, and everything else, events. It is hard. Like it is hard to do. Even if you stay inside on that seventh day, but that's the day you got to clean your toilet and wash the clothes and catch up them dishes and, sweep the floor.
And think and rest and breathe and do some favors for some other people.
Right. So
it's a lot.
All right. Right now, if you are in the sound of my voice and you are working 5, 6, or 7 days of the week, I'm going to implore you to figure out how you can get that work week down to 4 days a week. 4 money-making days.
Accountability.
Okay. All right. I'll take the challenge with you guys. And I've been thinking about the same thing. So me and Jesus is going to have a conversation how I can get back to working 4 days. So to have a day to work on the business and not in the business. A day to get all the errands done. And then a day of rest.
Yeah. You have to have a day of rest. I know for some people, who have younger children or, certain types of responsibilities, disabilities, things like that, find a way. Ooh, my battery dying. Find a way because don't take yourself out, stress yourself out, not getting rest when all you need is some rest.
Let me say that, y'all. This is what I know about myself personally, and I learned this the hard way. If I work 9 days straight, I'm gonna be crying on that 9th day. Like the world is coming to an end. Like I cannot figure out what's wrong with me. It is, and so if I don't rest on that 7th day, and I've learned it doesn't take me much to rest. Like if I can get a 4-hour block of vegging out in front of the TV, that's enough to get me going the whole next 7 days. But if I don't, I personally on that 8th or 9th day, I'm gonna break down crying. There's no purpose. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like the little kid that you can't make happy because they just need to lay down and take a nap. That is me. And
I gotta get this charger. Sorry.
Okay, get your charger, and I'll go back over the specific things that I want you guys to take away from today. So the specific things I want you to take away from today is 1, you have to rest. And that rest is as important as the work. Number 2, you need to rest ahead of time so that you are refilling your tank for the journey ahead because you don't know where the journey is going to take you. Number 3, learning what rejuvenates your tank. Rejuvenates, refills, replenishing you. Learn how to do it so you can do it frequently and often. Number 4, I think we're on 4, acknowledging and accepting that you are the bottleneck. And so looking at your life, looking at your relationships, looking at your business and saying, okay, I'm the bottleneck. And then the next question is, all right, what do I need to do differently to take myself out of this so I'm no longer the bottleneck? So this freely flows.
Yeah.
That right there is going to be so powerful.
Yeah.
And then a step beyond that is what's blocking me or what is keeping me from removing myself as the bottleneck. So when I wasn't doing my billing and I knew it was time for me to hand it off, because now I'm the bottleneck and I'm the reason that I'm not getting paid. It's time for me to hand it off to another person.
Yeah.
I didn't want to hand it off to anybody else because I had got burnt before.
Right. Yeah.
And so because I got burnt before and I had somebody doing my billing and they stopped doing it and I was broke for a couple of weeks until I could figure out what was going on at a time where I didn't need to be broke. Nobody needs to be broke, but there's sometimes when it's a little bit worse than others.
Worse than others, right?
and so I was very reluctant to have that experience again.
Yeah.
And so identifying that, okay, why am I the bottleneck in this area? Like, what's going on? What's keeping me from relinquishing this and turning it over? Is it that I feel like there's not an answer? Is it that I feel like I'm the only one? And if you feel like you're the only one, you are never going to grow in business.
Yeah. Agree. I have a question. So with that lesson with the first person who was handling your money, because someone is going to have to handle it, period. And you can't be in so much fear that you don't move to the next level. So what was your lesson in the first experience?
Oh, that was so long ago. I don't even know what the lesson was. I think in that first experience was I
think you mentioned about them getting overwhelmed and forgetting about your account.
Yeah. So I think following up, paying attention to it consistently. So, because in that business, it's just like, wait a minute, I'm real broke. Why am I so broke? I don't understand why I'm so broke. And then needing to sit down and track back and trace back what's happening and when it's happening.
Yeah.
And so I think now how we handle the money in the practice is completely different. I'm looking at the numbers every week. And every week we're looking at the numbers for, are we trending positive or are we trending negative? And so if I got 2 weeks in a row where I'm trending negative, okay, wait a minute. I think we working toward a problem. Like what's going on? And so I'm catching stuff early. Whereas back then I just sent the stuff off and hoped that it would get done.
Yeah.
And so now it's that accountability in that place. And so I'm really, in my coaching program, I talk to my people about knowing your numbers, knowing your numbers, so you can see a problem way in advance. And so when you start to get into those numbers and get into them consistently, then you will see the problem. And back then I would have thought, like, wait a minute, my numbers are way down this week. Why is that? And then go track it back. So
it goes back to accountability. Just the topic for today, self-accountability, in business and personal. But those are the things you don't know. You just think, oh, okay.
Well, and being in business is about learning. Like there's no way you can learn or know everything. And so I think you have to know that if you're going to get in business, that you're going to make a lot of mistakes. And be okay with that and recover from that. And I don't think we talk about that enough, that business so many ways is falling forward. So many ways of falling forward and figuring it out 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 and figuring it out. I think somebody said it best, one of the people I listened to, but being in business and being good at business is learning how to solve problems and solve problems quickly.
Yeah.
But as soon as you come to the understanding that, okay, that's what I do, is solve problems, then it's so much easier for you to move faster. And I think more specifically, when you realize that that's what your business does, is solve problems, and then identify, back to that clarity, the specific person and the specific problem, you help, answer, heal, fix, then your business is going to soar. It's going to soar. And so I think if you look at, let me go secular and church-wise. If you look at Walmart is after the busy mom. Walmart offers one-stop shopping to her. You should be able to pick up some oil from the van, go through, grab that t-shirt and those new shoes for your kid. On your way to pick up the dinner, to swing back around and get through the checkout counter. That's what Walmart's trying to do, trying to make it fast and easy, convenient for that mom.
Yeah.
If you look at their certain ministries, and they have been really, really successful. And if you look and listen, you can see exactly who they're talking to. They're usually not talking to everybody. It's usually one person. Now, the thing is, the magic of it is when you really get clear and you talk to that one person, everybody hears you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing. I think that's one of the most ironic things there is. When you get really clear and talking to that one person, everybody starts to listen. Like, wait, what they saying? So anyway.
Yeah. What is that one thing that is niched, but it's universal? You know what I mean? Like it's a universal conversation, although it's niched, to a certain market. Right. Very important in business that I think we learned the hard way.
Yes. Yeah. So, all right. In our last 3 minutes, what do you want the people to know today?
I just want to real quick. Kimberly said, top yourself off. She loved that, her new verbiage. Hey, Boomshot. Hey, Robin, how are you? Yes. So thank you all for tuning in.
Yeah.
It sounds like that self-accountability is everything. Going ahead and facing the things, the bottleneck. Like you are the bottleneck. How about that? You just are. Yeah. Whether you want to admit it or not. Right. If you are lacking in any area, if you see yourself stagnant and not moving forward, it's you. So go ahead and face you and see what it is you need. And we talked last week and the week before, we talked about the book, Who, Not How.
Who, Not How.
Who, Not How. So important. You or I don't care who you are an expert. You high level, you are a pro at this thing, whatever it is you are doing, and you cannot do it by yourself.
Right. You will not. You will not.
That is a limited belief.
Yeah.
You cannot do this by yourself. You need to figure out who it is that you need beside you to help you along the way.
Definitely so.
Yeah.
All right, my dears. Thank you so much for spending this day with me, this time with me.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I
really enjoy it
because it feels good. I feel good today.
Yes.
Today is a good day.
It is a good day. It's a very special day.
Yeah.
And wish you happy birthday.
Thank you, everybody. And I'll see y'all next week.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.